Hi, this is the Ms.FitVegan podcast, episode 554. I don't know why, but I think this message is for you. You know how you're always saying you're so stressed, you're so nervous, you have so much anxiety, you feel very, very anxious, you feel overwhelmed, you're really nervous about something coming up? Well, I want to remind you that nervousness and anxiety have the exact same physiological effect on the body as being excited. The only difference between someone who's waiting online of a roller coaster and feeling anxiety versus feeling excited is what they have decided upon. So one person is feeling nauseous, is feeling sweaty, their heart is racing, and they're like, I can't wait to go on this ride. I'm so excited. And then the next person in line is feeling nauseous, and they're sweating, and their heart is racing, and they're saying, I cannot do this. I am going to throw up. I do not want to go on this ride. I'm so scared. I am so nervous to get on this ride. You see, the body reacts the same exact way to being nervous. I'm not starting over. Sorry, I'm human. The body reacts the exact same way to being excited that it does to being nervous. So, what are you going to choose? Because you're the one that gets to tell your brain what it's experiencing. And it's the same thing with gratitude. I'm going to tell you something that nobody really knows. I had a tooth removed about 2 months ago because I had a root canal on this tooth about 20 years ago. And I didn't feel comfortable having a root canal in my mouth after a lot of research. And please watch the movie Root Cause and study what a root canal is actually doing to your entire body. It is affecting you. And I think they said a very, very alarming statistic was about 80% of women with breast tumors, with breast cancer, had a root canal on that side of their mouth. So please do me a favor. Look into possibly one day in the future getting your root canals removed. They are extremely detrimental to your health. So I had a root canal removed, and now I don't have a tooth in my mouth, in the front of my mouth. And I have never said this before, and I haven't shown anyone on YouTube because it's tough. It's really tough to be without a tooth for like 8 months because I'm seeing a biomimetic dentist. And long story short is that it takes a long time to naturally heal your mouth and get it ready for the implant. You should never, ever, ever do the implant the same day or the same month as getting the extraction. And so there's a lot of different steps that go into doing this as naturally as possible. So I would recommend you find a biomimetic dentist that works with you on your case-by-case basis and your dental needs. But with me, we are on a plan of 8 months. And so I won't have a tooth in my mouth until June. And I'm running the world's largest fruit festival in 2 weeks. And I film for a living. I'm on camera all the time. And so I got a flipper, which is like a denture. It's one tooth that you put in your mouth. Personally, it hurts me very much to wear. So I don't wear it on my private calls, my Zooms. I don't wear it on my course Zooms. I don't wear it usually, but I do wear it when I'm on camera. And that's the real reason I haven't been doing interviews, because it does hurt to talk with it. It's very uncomfortable. And the other day, because I am human, remember I was coughing? I am human. I was feeling sorry for myself and feeling frustrated and angry and sad and all of these uncomfortable emotions because, well, why did this have to happen to me? It's hard enough to run this festival with hundreds of people coming. It's hard enough to get on stage and host the event and speak. I think I have about 4 or 5 speeches that I promised I would do, and I'm going to do a bunch of different workouts. at the festival, and I'm running the festival. And so I need to be speaking to people all day, every day, making sure the festival runs properly. I'm in charge of all the volunteers, and I'm sure many, many attendees think I'm in charge. So they will be coming up to me with issues and things that I need to solve, and I'm happy to do that. But truth be told, I'm really only in charge of the volunteers this year. Because, the other years I was in charge of much more, and I wanted to just be in charge of the volunteers. That being said, I was feeling sorry for myself and sad and upset and angry and, almost to the point of like, why me? And then I realized how incredibly grateful I can also be, because I have this tooth that I can put in my mouth and nobody can tell that it's not a real tooth. And yes, it's uncomfortable, and yes, it's hard to talk, but the truth is that what if I didn't have this? Like, this is a miracle that I am able to get my root canal removed. I'm able to have a fake tooth, it's called a flipper. Thank you, Joy. So this beautiful woman from my food addiction freedom course told me to get a flipper, and my dentist never even told me that I could do this, by the way. But then I went to my dentist and he's like, oh yeah, we can make you one. And it's just like, if she didn't tell me this was an option, then I wouldn't even know about it. So we need people. We need each other. And thank you very much, Joy, for saving my fucking butt. Because, it's not comfortable to, have people come to a festival and want to meet you and want to hang out with you and want to take pictures with you and be on stage and speak with a tooth missing. It's not comfortable. It's embarrassing. And being a raw vegan, if I go on camera with a tooth missing and I tell them the truth, I say, listen, I had a root canal tooth removed. The only way to get rid of the root canal was to get an extraction. Honestly, people are going to say I'm lying and I have tooth decay because I'm raw. Meanwhile, it's been proven that raw vegans have better dental hygiene if they take care of their teeth. They have better dental health than 100% of the population. Okay, that's proven that eating raw is one of the best things you can do for your teeth. Okay, I had so many teeth issues before I went raw. Every tooth in my mouth basically has a cavity, before I went raw. And now my teeth are better than ever, but, I wanted to get rid of this tooth. I got a root canal when I was in I think it was my 20s, or maybe I was 18, 19. So it's been about 20 years. I wanted to get it out. And that's why I feel that I can't go on camera without a tooth because, whatever, the haters, the carnivores, these dumb fucks online, they're just looking for anything to prove that fruit and vegetables are not healthy. But anyway, that's that. So I changed my perspective. I said, you know what? I'm actually, instead of being sad and angry and upset about having to wear this thing that's uncomfortable, which I don't even have to wear, I'm choosing to wear it. Instead of being upset, I'm going to be grateful as fuck that I have this and I have the option to not wear it. If I don't want to wear it, I have that option, even though in my head it's like not an option. But the truth is that it's an option. I have like so many friends that are like supermodels. They're 10 out of 10s. And they think that it's not an option to go out of the house without makeup, to go out of the house without earrings, to go out of the house without doing their hair. That's not an option. And I tell them, I'm like, it is an option. It is an option. And they don't believe me. But it's what we have convinced our minds of that is the most important thing in our life. What are you convincing your mind of? This is what my new book is about. If you want to check it out, it just dropped on Amazon yesterday. Late last night. I was up really late. It's called Raw Vegan Excuses. And I think you'll like it. It's a compilation of all the excuses. Some of them I put here on this podcast. So if you want to listen to it, you don't have to buy the book. Just listen to the podcast. You have to go back like about, 50 episodes or something. But just listen to those. And I added a lot more information in the book. I added a summary and action steps of what you can actually do to break this excuse. I was going to say this challenge, but it's an excuse. And I just want to get the message out that The mind is holding you back. If you're struggling to be raw, there's no doubt in my mind that you are telling yourself that it's a fucking struggle to be raw. Meanwhile, I'm being successful 13 goddamn years now. I don't have anybody in my life that's raw. People tell me I can't be raw because my husband. I can't be raw because my kids. I can't be raw because of this. But it's like, no, because if you didn't have those husbands or kids, you'd find another excuse. I promise you. It has nothing to do with your outside circumstances. It's the mind. You're convincing yourself every day, and you're proving it with your actions, that you can't be raw. Get control of your mind, which is the last chapter of my book. Get control of your mind. So, yeah, that's the podcast. I wanted to share. And that's the reason why I haven't been doing interviews as much, and I haven't been making many videos with my face as much. And I didn't have to share this with you guys, and nobody asked, because nobody knows except my private community and my clients in my course, but and my friends. But so that's like a lot of people. That's like 500 people right there. But if you're listening to this and you're not in my private community, then you don't know that I don't have a tooth. Okay, right now. And I'm choosing to see it as a thing that I'm very grateful for. I'm very grateful that I was able to afford the extraction and the implant. I'm very grateful that this won't be forever. Nothing lasts forever. The only constant in life is change. And I will look back at these 8 months and be grateful that I do have a tooth and I can smile again confidently. Like right now, I don't smile much at all, unless I have my tooth in, which it hurts to have it in. So, and I went to the dentist and there's nothing we could do, that's the nature of where it is, how my gums are healing, and there's no adjusting they can do, because if they make it looser, it's going to fall out. So, I went to the dentist and there is no solution to that at the moment, besides just not wearing it, which I want to wear it in public and at Woodstock Fruit Festival. But, yeah, that's it. That's the podcast. I'm choosing to be grateful for something instead of complaining about it. I want you to choose to be excited instead of nervous. Because, by the way, I tell myself the same thing. Every year that I do Woodstock, I've been doing it for 7 years now, I am so nervous, and I have so much anxiety. And I don't know if maybe you have run a very large event with hundreds of people attending and, 100 volunteers. And a lot of things riding on your shoulders. And that can create a lot of anxiety and a lot of nervousness, okay? And I also get really, really, really nervous doing my course, because I really care, and I have people's hands, like lives in my hands, and I need to deliver results. I need people to break their food addiction, because I promised they would. I need people to get inspired. I need people to go raw if they want to go raw. I need people to lose the weight if that's why they join the course, or clear their skin. And I feel a lot of the pressure on me, of course. And pressure is honestly a privilege. Don't forget that. But I tell myself I'm excited. I'm excited to run the world's largest fruit festival. I'm excited. I'm excited to start my next course. I'm excited to write my next book, because in the past I was too nervous. I couldn't publish a book because what the fuck do I have to say? I don't have anything special to say. My whole message is eat more fruit and vegetables. Who the fuck doesn't know that? So you see how we can convince ourselves of things? What are you convincing yourself of? Because for years, remember, I've been doing this 13 years, right? For 13 years, I told myself I don't have anything to say. And then after 13 years, I said, you know what? Fuck it. If people buy my book and they don't like it, they can return it. What's the worst that could happen? Somebody leaves me a bad review? What's the worst thing that could happen? Someone buys my book, doesn't like it, returns it. Okay. Somebody writes a bad review. Okay. Somebody, unsubscribes or wants a refund from my course? Okay. I've given. Yeah. If you take my course, my Food Addiction Freedom course, and you ask for a refund because you didn't get the results that you wanted, I will give you a refund. I've given refunds. I gave one refund since I started the course in 2022. I did give one refund because the woman, she didn't like my style. She didn't like my personality. She wanted to measure her food. She wanted to weigh all her food. She wanted a meal plan. Like, she wanted me to tell her exactly what to eat on every day for 6 weeks. And that's not how I roll. Okay, I teach a long-term sustainable lifestyle that you can do forever. And weighing and measuring your food, I don't believe you can do forever. But that's what she wanted. And so I gave her a refund. And that's the worst thing that could happen, is somebody wanted a refund. And it happened. So some of you guys are like afraid of things, but meanwhile, the worst thing that could happen already happened. Like, I think about, okay, what's the worst thing that could happen to me? Worst case scenario, which Brianna, my boo, she's amazing person in my life. What's up, Bri? She's going to be at Woodstock with me, so I'm excited. But she reminded me, okay, what's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario. Okay, so like, I think about Woodstock Fruit Festival. What's the worst things that could happen? And then I go through them and I visualize them and I write them down, and I recommend you journal about it too. You're so nervous about this thing. You have so much anxiety about this thing. What's the worst thing that could happen? And then just write it out and imagine it happening. And then in life, I've already gone through the worst thing that could ever happen to me. So what's worse than my sister dying? Ain't nothing. And I have to be reminded of that. And thank you for letting me talk to you guys about it, because as I speak, I remind myself that life is short and it's so fucking beautiful, and we are so fucking blessed. If you are listening to this podcast, you are blessed as fuck. And I am so blessed. And just to get the opportunity to run this festival, and just to get the opportunity to connect with so many amazing people from all around the world. Every single Woodstock Fruit Festival that I've been in charge of, every single festival that I've worked at, because I've never attended, I've only worked at the festival. I was a volunteer, then a manager. And every single year has changed my life. And I've met people that have changed my life. Life-changing. The best thing is to go if you don't know anyone. That's the fucking best thing. Because when I went in 2019, yeah, that was the year that changed my life the most. Because I didn't go with my best friend. I didn't know anyone really there. And I met someone that invited me to live in Florida with them. And here I am, still here 4 years later. And it's all because of Woodstock Fruit Festival. It is ultimately the best decision to go if you don't know anyone. Because if you know someone, then you're probably not going to meet new people. Like, you're going to probably hang out with your clique. And that's awesome. And it's great to hang out with your clique, but get uncomfortable. And whether you're coming to Woodstock or not, I want you to get uncomfortable and talk to people you don't know. Connect with people you don't know. Okay? I love you. I thank you for listening. And today is all about being excited, not being nervous, because it's the same fucking side effects. So why not be excited instead? I love you. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, boo.